So since joining booktube, I've seen a lot of different kind of challenges for videos. And one of those challenges being reading sad books for a week. Since I'm kind of new to reading, there's not really been a book that's really made me cry. There's definitely been books that have made me tear up. For example, The Only One Left by Riley Sager and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Basically, this challenge is I just want to cry. I want a book to bring me to tears, because if a book can bring you to absolute tears and you're bawling your eyes out, then that's a good thing, because I feel like it takes a very talented writer to just write, to be able to write something and make you cry because of it. So yeah, that's the goal for today's video. I have 3 popular sad books that I'm going to be reading in today's video, and I hope that I cry. Or if by the end I don't cry, then I'm just cold-hearted, I don't know. Alright, so the first book that I am reading for this challenge is You've Reached Sam by Dustin Theo. I feel like a lot of people have already read this book, so I'm kind of like late to the party on this. I've owned this book for a while, but I don't know, I don't think I was ready. Because I don't think this is a happy ending. I don't know. Actually, I'm not sure. I've heard it was sad. So my friend Penny really loves this book and she talks about how it was sad. So I'm assuming that it's not going to end how we all want it to end. I feel like a lot of you have heard of this book, but if you have not, this book is a YA. It's about this main character, Sam and Julie. They're in high school, they're about to graduate, they have their whole life planned out and ready. They're gonna move out together, get an apartment, go to school, things like that. But that all changes when Sam dies. Julie is basically distraught, and she just is trying to figure out how to cope with the loss of her, her first love. She calls him on the phone, on her cell phone, and then somehow he picks up and they're able to have this form of communication on the phone, only with phone calls, even though he is indeed dead. So it has been interesting, like, learning how this is even possible. I'm still not entirely sure how this is all possible. But anyway, I have actually started this book. I listened to a lot of this book on audiobook. I mean, this book is definitely not a 5-star to me, but it is really easy to understand and easy to follow because it is a YA. That's why I love YA so much. It's just really easy and it flows very well. I'm on chapter 17, page 255. I want a book to bring me to tears, So that's kind of what I want. I don't know, I'm kind of like in between a rock and a hard place, because it's like, yeah, this book makes me sad, but also I don't know how many sad books I want to read, because I'm gonna get annoyed with the same outcome if everyone dies. I'm gonna get like annoyed with the same outcome. And instead of sad, I'll just be annoyed. This book also kind of goes in a before and after, or before and now kind of perspective. Like I said, I'm very close to finishing this book, so I'm just gonna sit here and finish it. Really bad for Julie. Like, I can't imagine she's gone through something so like traumatic, and also her school and stuff that's going on with like her college and all that. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. Like, I can't. It makes me sad thinking about it, because I would be devastated. That's it. I'm sad.
What?
The book ended and it was sad.
Aww.
I just finished it.
Aww.
Huh?
They'll never be the same after all they went through.
No. It'd be so sad. Boots is crying too. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit more about You've Reached Sam. So obviously I finished the book and it was like a little sad at the end, but then I took like a day or two to kind of digest it and kind of think about it a little bit more. And I mean, I feel like it was sad, yes. Did it bring me to tears? No. I do want a book to make me cry, but unfortunately, this was not the book. You know, it was sad, but I almost feel like it ended very abruptly, and I wish that it had like a little bit more to it. Like, I feel like the ending could have been drawn out a little bit more, and I think it would have been more heartbreaking. All in all, I gave this book a 4-star. There were some things that I felt kind of weird about. I am sure that people deal with grief in very different ways, and I do like that this book is kind of about her grief. Like, it's not a happy ending, it's a sad ending. I feel like we don't get a lot of books like that that kind of deal with real situations that could actually happen. But I found it weird that a lot of the characters in this book were mad at Julie for grieving in a way. It was just kind of weird how they were mad at her, considering it had only been like maybe a month after his death. And it's like, I'm sure people deal with grief in different ways, but for me, I would definitely be the type to isolate myself and try to just understand how I feel and my feelings and all that. But a lot of people were like mad at her. Why are people acting like that? Like, it just threw me off. But like I said, people deal with grief in different ways. That part was like annoying, but it didn't like make me not like the book or anything like that. I guess my only con to this book is I wish that the ending was had a little bit more to it. And I do wish we kind of learned more about Tristan and the potential relationship there. Yeah, I do wish we could kind of learn more about that. But all in all, I mean, the book was good. It was easy to read, very fast paced, short, easy, quick read, but also sad. And I just love the cover, and I love the significance of like the cherry blossoms. I love cherry blossoms. I think they're very beautiful. I don't know what book I'm going to choose next for our reading sad books for a week, even though this... Anyway, I am going to choose our next book for reading sad books for a week. I'm basically just on a quest for a book to make me cry. Like, I really want to cry. If I can recall, there have been books that have made me cry, but they weren't like sad books. Well, okay, wait. The Fault in Our Stars made me cry, but I was like in high school when I read that, so that doesn't really count because that was like, what, 10 years ago at this point? Okay, I'm gonna go choose my next book instead of remember how old I am. Okay, so I don't know how much I updated you guys on if you had been with me. I don't remember the last update I gave. I feel like I'm not gonna cry only because, for one thing, we all know how this book ends. I mean, the majority of us know how this book ends. And also, I took a bit of a break in between here. Like, I haven't read this book in like a few days because I ran out of audiobook hours and I couldn't find the time to like grab the book and actually physically read it. Also, I'm kind of also reading another book right now. That kind of is like, I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't read multiple books at once, but I have a really bad habit of doing that. But basically, I'm at chapter 67. So we learned a lot. I learned a lot about like the past, and something happened on New Year's Eve or New Year's between Autumn and Finn that I really wasn't expecting. So I'm excited to learn more about that, if it's gonna go into that more, because I am kind of curious of how that came to fruition or whatever. But yeah, I'm like really worried about how this book's gonna end. Basically, I'm gonna try to just binge it, which I think I can, because since this book is YA, it flies by, it's easy to read, and the chapters are really short. So I think I'm just gonna finish this right now because I want to.
I've been so many places. I've
Thanks.
seen them all with open eyes. Seen islands, open spaces.
No.
Serengeti sun slowly rise.
That's it. insane.
All these memories that hold them near me when I sail the agency. But there's one place
No
for
way.
me.
What? That's it? So that story she wrote was about her? What? What does that mean? Wait. I'm assuming she was? Wow. Holy crap. That sucks. I definitely feel like if I didn't know what was gonna happen, I would have cried. I am upset about that, like that is tragic, but I did not expect the part at the end to happen. And it was also almost like Autumn was foreshadowing her future, and I don't know if that was intentional for the author. I assume it was. I did like this story. I liked all the characters and stuff. The only thing that I didn't like is how it was told. Like, I don't really like how we're reading it from the past. There's not like much room for dialogue. Like, it's mostly talking in past tense. Like, but I think that's like the point of the book, because we are being like told a story, because in the beginning we're kind of in the present and then we go to the past and then, you know, whatever. But I think I would have preferred if it was written kind of more in a present tense, just because that part kind of like throws me off a little bit. Just not my favorite way of reading a story. But I mean, this book was still very good. So like, I kind of thought that I knew exactly how it was gonna end and how the whole thing happened, but it actually wasn't. Like, that's kind of like shocking of how that was. I'm honestly kind of surprised about that. I do like that bit at the end, honestly, like, if that was true, because at least in a way she still has like a part of him, and that's all I would want as well, I think. Wow, I definitely like this book a lot better than If You've Reached Sam. I don't know what I would rate it, but it was really good, and it was really sad. Again, if it was written a different way, I think it would have been a 5-star, to be honest. It's literally been like 2 seconds. All I did was change my shirt, but I went and grabbed 1,000 Boy Kisses. I wanted to just read the back of it. Also, this book is really like large. Is that normal? When 17-year-old Rune Christensen returns from his native Norway to the sleepy town of Blossom Grove, Georgia, where he befriended Poppy Litchfield as a child, he has just one thing on his mind. Why did the girl who was one half of his soul, who promised to wait faithfully for his return, cut him off without a word of explanation? Rune's heart was broken 2 years ago when Poppy fell silent. But when he discovers the truth of her absence, he finds that the greatest heartache is yet to come. Okay, seems like it's gonna be, look at this text. Are you joking? I'm not gonna start it now. I'm also reading Binding 13, so I'm gonna read Binding 13, and then probably when I'm done with Binding 13, I'll read this. I'm kind of going back and forth with videos. Anyway, I just wanted to say what this book was about. Also, cover is kind of pretty, but also kind of ugly at the same time. Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know if that made any sense. Anyway, okay, bye. Okay, hey guys, I just ended off another video. I am getting so confused filming all these videos at once. So for this video, reading sad books for a week, I feel like you already know it's definitely been more than a week, but it just sounds better for the title because I can't obviously call it reading sad books on and off for a month and a half because I'm slow. I don't know how much I've updated you on 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole, but I feel like I did talk about plot of the book. You know, we've got Poppy and Rune. They are childhood friends. Rune has to leave for a couple of years, and in between that time, Rune and Poppy talk to each other, and then slowly they like start communicating less and less, and Rune doesn't really understand. So then when Rune eventually comes back, he learns the reason why Poppy ignored him for 2 years. But when he discovers the truth of her absence, he finds that the greatest heartache is yet to come. I feel like this book is going to be my least favorite out of this video because
I was very surprised that we learned the reason why she wasn't talking to him so quickly. Then I was like, what's the rest of this book gonna be about then? So right now we learn what happened, and right now it's kind of just this waiting game until the end of the book, and that's something that I'm like finding myself really bored by. And I know this is gonna sound really bad, but Poppy annoys the crap out of me sometimes because she's just acting like the really cheesy main character, like, oh, I get up at 5 a.m. every day to watch the sunrise because, like, how can you not? Because life is just so beautiful and the sun is so beautiful. No one acts like that, I don't think, right? I don't know. I could just sound like a jerk. I could just sound really mean, but like that's annoying me. I don't know why it's annoying me so much. It's just, I think it's the fact that it's just unrealistic. Kind of just annoys me. Honestly, like, I don't think I'm gonna cry. Like, I really don't think I'm gonna cry. I do have a theory for maybe what could possibly happen. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to spoil anybody about what happens, but like, I do have a theory of maybe what's gonna happen with Poppy, but I'm not like too sure. But I only have this much left. I'm on page 214. So now we're just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And that's what I don't really like. I think if I read this a long time ago, like in high school, I probably would have found myself enjoying it a little bit more. But just being older, I think, I don't know. Anyway, like I said, I'm on page 214. I don't have that much of the book left. I would really like to get this done today. So that's going to be my goal. And I guess let's see how this book ends. Alrighty.
Don't tell me that it's over. Never say that I can't relate. I still wanna come over, 'cause I know that it's not too late. Too late, too late, too late, too late. I know I made mistakes, I know I lied. I should have noticed, yeah, I should have tried.
Ooh, that got me. Ooh. Ooh, that got me a little bit. Ooh, okay. I can't picture that without like being really sad about it. Just something specific that he did made me really sad just now. Oh, it made me a little sad. No way. Hold on a sec. I need the vacuum to shut up. Oh, okay. I really thought something terrible happened. I think. Oh. Oh my God. No way. What happened? Holy crap. What? What happened? What? That's not how I expected it to end at all. I literally, like, when I was first reading that, I was like, wait. And then I was like, oh no, I'm wrong. And then I was right. Holy crap. But I don't know what happened. What happened though? What happened? Does it say? Dang. The next book is about Savannah, which is Poppy's little sister, so that's interesting. But wow, that ending, the epilogue was really interesting. I really liked the epilogue. I think that was really, really good. If you hear someone mowing outside, my boyfriend's mowing, so obviously this book was kind of like slow because it's like we were just waiting for a long time for something to happen. I was kind of curious how the book would end off because of that fact, because we knew for so long. But that epilogue, That epilogue really did it for me. And there was another part that like really made me tear up a little bit at the end before the epilogue, but I didn't like full on, like a tear didn't stream down my face or anything, but I mean I teared up a little bit. Yeah, I'm so shook by the epilogue right now. But I do want to know what the heck happened. I was gonna say a 2.5, but I really think that epilogue brought it up to a 3 because I just really like that epilogue. That really got me. But for the most part, I mean, this book was like good, but it was so slow to me. This was a 3-star, I would say. The epilogue really made it a 3 for me. If you have reached this part of the video, that means you've watched the whole video. Obviously, I don't even know why I said that. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna go over the 3 books I read for today's video. Reading sad books for a week, even though it's been way more than a week. I feel like I've said that like 3 times. So let's just go over them very quickly. I believe I've probably done a decent review of these books in my wrap-ups. So with that, I'm not gonna go like super into detail because I feel like everyone knows what a majority of these books are about. So the first book I read for this video was You've Reached Sam by Dustin Theo. This is a YA romance. So this book was obviously about Sam and Julie, and they are in a relationship in high school and everything's going great, and then Sam unfortunately dies. But then one day she calls his cell phone, and then somehow he picks up. But I really enjoyed this book. The only thing that I really didn't like about it was the ending. I felt like the ending was really rushed, and I feel like if it had been written more like thoroughly, I guess, I think it could have brought way more emotion to the readers. I feel like a big thing with like these sad books is that they're giving away what happens on like the back of the books and on the back and like on the back of the books and stuff. I feel like if I went into this not knowing what it was about, I think I would have been shocked that he was dead. But I guess I should really just start going into books blind, because sometimes the back of the book really does give it away. I don't remember what I rated this book, but I will put it up here because I honestly just don't remember. And the next book I read for this video is a book that everybody talks about, If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolwyn. I really enjoyed this book. I think this is probably my favorite. This book is written in third person, and that's not really my favorite, but this book was still enjoyable to read nonetheless. I don't really like the way it was written because we're kind of just getting a lot of the author telling us what's going on instead of it happening in like real time. But it really didn't bother me too much, but I do wish it was kind of written in like a different way. This book is about Autumn and Finn. They live next door to each other, and they have like this friendship while they're younger, and they're like best friends, and their moms are best friends, so they always hang out together. And then when they get to high school, they kind of start to drift apart. With that, this is the story of them kind of through their freshman to senior year of high school. And obviously we all know what happens at the beginning, because we're told what happens in the beginning, and then we kind of go back in time. I just wish that it wasn't given away what happens like in the very beginning or whatever. But learning about what happened was really unfortunate. It was really unfortunate. That ending was kind of nuts, and also the ending with Autumn was really crazy as well. Was not expecting that, obviously, with my reaction at the end. Was not expecting that whatsoever. This was a 4.5. I really liked the ending of this. I am not going to read the second one because I went to Barnes & Noble and skimmed the end of it. And I did that on purpose because I just don't really care to read it again, like honestly. Because it's like reading the same story again. I didn't really feel like reading it. So anyway, this is a 4.5. It was probably my favorite one and my favorite sad book that I've read so far. Still didn't make me cry, but it was still a good read nonetheless. And obviously the last book I read was A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. I feel like a lot of people have also read this book, and I think a lot of people cried. I was kind of looking at Goodreads reviews and stuff like that, but this book did not make me cry. I could see how it would, but I think the biggest thing for me was just it had such a slow middle. It's like we knew what was gonna happen to the character, but we were just waiting for like that said thing to happen, and it just made me feel kind of like bored and stuff. The thing that I really liked, I feel like I just talked about this, but the thing I really liked was the epilogue. The epilogue was so shocking to me, and it made me enjoy this book so much more, honestly, even though it was like 2 pages. I really like being shocked, like, you know, because I did not really expect that to happen. And I did have a theory about something that was gonna happen to Poppy. I think I did mention that, but I was wrong. I think maybe, yeah, a 3. I think I'd give this a 3-star. I want a book to make me bawl my eyes out. So if anybody has any suggestions of books that will make me bawl my eyes out and cry, I really want to know. I've heard a lot about A Little Life. I don't know the author's name, but I've heard a lot about that book, but that book is really like thick. So if there's anything a little smaller than that that still makes people cry, definitely let me know. Either these books just weren't that sad, or I'm just cold-hearted and emotionless. Anyway, these are the 3 books I read for today's video, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I will hopefully be seeing you in the next one. I hope you guys are having a really good fall so far. I am so happy that it's fall now. I love the vibes so much. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!